Hey there, my name's Amber, and I'm going to help walk you through the Asana online application from your computer, your desktop today. So you want to start by, on your computer, going into your web browser, whatever that is, whether it be Internet Explorer or Google Chrome or another browser, and you want to navigate to asana.com and then sign in. Once you sign in, you will be prompted with one of different screens, possibly this screen, which shows your personal tasks. So from this screen on the computer, actually, and on your phone, it can be really confusing to understand where to go from here. So I'm going to start with this screen, assuming that this is a screen that you'll see when you log in. So first, notice you have this menu bar up here at the top, which has different tabs depending on where you are in Asana. These will change, and it also has a search bar, which will come in super handy. This hamburger menu over here on the left with these three horizontal lines, if you click that, it will bring up all of the projects that are associated with whichever workspace you're currently in. So I'm not in a workspace right now. I'm just in my personal tasks, which is kind of like a workspace unto itself for tasks that have been assigned to me. So in order to see any projects, I'm going to need to navigate over to the projects and select which one I want to work with. So in order to do that, I'm actually going to go over here to the right-hand side in the upper corner and click on my profile icon or picture. This will pull up the different projects, or excuse me, the different workspaces that you are a part of in Asana. So you might have multiple here, you might have one. It really just depends on how many different workspaces you're in. For this tutorial, we're going to be working in the Hurricane Florence Asana workspace. So I'm going to click on that. From here, it shows me all the different projects that are in the Hurricane Florence Asana workspace as of right now. So I can click on one of these to go ahead and get into one of the projects. What I can also do is come back over here to this menu on the left, click it, and now I will see here populated in this menu these different projects as well. So these, let's see, 5 projects are the same as these projects here. So now you'll see that this looks different than it did the last time that I clicked on this left menu. That's because now I am actually active in the Hurricane Florence Asana workspace. So let's say I want to go into one of my projects that I'm a part of. So the number and which projects you have that are shown here really are just going to depend on what team or teams you're on. So your screen might look different than mine at this point. Let's go ahead and go into one of the projects. So I'm going to click on Logistics. And here we can see all of the different columns that are in the Logistics project of the Hurricane Florence Asana workspace. I can hide the side menu at any time by clicking on the menu button, and that just allows the screen to be opened up a little more on the computer. So the different categories of needs or actions, depending on which project you're in, they're all oriented and designed around these columns. So columns go from top to bottom. The title of the column you'll see in bold at the top. If you want to add a new column, you can click Add Column. Mainly, you'll be working in columns that have been set up as part of the template for this workspace. So inside of each column, we have these rectangular boxes here that are called cards. So if I want to contribute to one of these cards, then I can click on it. So I see that the name of this card in the initial effort assessments column is called Networks. It's been assigned to this person. It doesn't have a due date. It doesn't currently have a description. And here also you can see where exactly you are. So this says we're in the logistics project and we're in the initial efforts assessment column. So it also shows who created this task or this card and when it was created. And any comments on this card are going to show up down here. So this is a comment by this person. Can click to see more of the full comment. You can like a comment using the thumbs up. Can also pin it to the top of this task so it will stay up here near the top if it's important. You can also write a comment by clicking on the box down at the bottom, typing something in. If I wanted someone specifically to be able to see this comment, then I would want to tag them. That just makes sure that they get a notification. So in order to tag someone, you use the @ sign, and then you can start typing their name or their email. Hit enter, and then the tag is going to show up in blue. You'd want to hit comment to make sure that that comment is saved. Down here at the bottom, you also see who's following this task or card, and you can add more people to be following this. So that's sort of like tagging. It just makes sure that these people are getting notified basically of everything that happens on this specific card. You can also follow this task card yourself as well by clicking this bell icon. So that's that for the networks task and initial efforts assessment. And notice that the content of each of these tasks is going to be related to the title. So if I wanted to make a new task, let's say I want to go over here to partners, sponsors, and agencies, and I want to make a new task or card here. I would click the plus sign, and then I can go ahead and start typing, or I can double click on my card, and that will pull it up in an expanded view. So this is the title. If I want to assign it to someone, I can do that here, or I could assign it to myself, could add a due date. It's good to always add a description for what the purpose of this task or card is. And then also when we're creating a task, we can attach files. So if I had like a PDF file or a picture of a receipt or a picture of a location or really any type of attachment that's on my computer in my downloads folder, I can attach it here. So I would click this little paperclip icon, and I could, again, choose whether the attachment is going to be uploaded from my computer, or if you have a subscription to Dropbox, or if you have a Google account and it's in Google Drive, you can connect and bring the file over from Google Drive or Box or OneDrive. So that's how I would attach something to the card. You can also attach, you can also add a subtask to this task. So what that would do would basically break the task into different tasks, literally, then you can say that they're accomplished in steps. So if I mark that subtask as done, then it doesn't mean that the whole entire card is marked as complete, but at least I know part of it is done. You can also mark the entire task as complete up here at the top, if it's a task that needs to be completed. If you want to share this task, this card, you can come up here at the top and click the link icon to copy the link. So now the link is in my clipboard, and I can go somewhere else. I could go to a conversation somewhere in Asana, or somewhere completely different. And wherever I wanted to share this task, I would just hit right click or control click and come down to paste. And that would paste a link to this task. I can also like the task and do some more things. Like see the tags, add it to a project, delete it, which probably shouldn't be done unless it's something that you created yourself that you're going to redo. Deleting other people's tasks is not recommended. You can duplicate it if you want to use this as a template, and then change the title or description or what have you to make it different than what you've made before. You can also merge tasks. You can convert this task to a project. So say we realized that this was actually something that was bigger than just a task and we wanted to make it a project, just like logistics is a project. You can do that here. You could print this and you could enter full screen, but I'm just going to go ahead and X out of this. So a couple more things just to cover as a brief overview of Asana. We looked at navigating in here the columns and each different card or task in a column, how to tag someone, how to comment, how to upload, attach a file into one of these cards, how to assign tasks, how to assign due dates, how to add followers, etc. So let's go ahead and go to a different project within the same Hurricane Florence workspace. So I'm going to come to my menu over here and go down. Let's say I want to go to this other project that I'm a part of, Human Resources. Awesome. So now we can see these different cards just like in the other workspace. Notice that up here at the top on the left, it shows which type of, where we are exactly. So right now we're on the board, which shows all the different columns and tasks in this Human Resources project. We can also click on the timeline view, which is not accessible to us right now because we don't have a paid subscription, or we can click on the calendar. So this is very useful for inputting project-specific dates. In order to add something to the calendar, we can, let's see, double-click on a day, and this will go ahead and add this task that we're making in the Human Resources project to be due on the day that we clicked on. Or just could be also be a marker of when something's going to happen. So it doesn't have to necessarily be a due date for a task. We could say that we have a shipment arriving today. And I'm going to assign that to someone who maybe needs to know, maybe they're in distribution or some other department. I could assign it to them and then add a description. I'm going to go ahead and delete that. In order to delete it, go to this More Actions up at the top and then go to Delete Task. Delete permanently. Again, you don't want to delete something that someone else made, typically, without also getting some kind of second opinion for that. It's best practice not to delete other people's stuff. So now I'm loading. Awesome. So that's the calendar view. We can also go into the conversations view, which is really, really useful for teams that are working in Asana. So just like Facebook, each project in Asana has a conversations ability. So in order to start a new conversation, which would be like starting a new thread on Facebook or what have you, or a new email chain, we would just hit this icon, this box here, which says start a conversation. We definitely want to give it a subject, which is directly related to what the conversation is going to be about, so that people who chime in know the purpose of this conversation. And then we could type in the description here. Again, if we want to tag someone, we could type the @ sign, or we could just click that @ icon and then type in the person's name. This will make sure that whoever you tag gets a notification about this conversation or comment or whatever it is that you're tagging them in, so that they're sure to be able to see it, have the opportunity to see it. Otherwise, they might not get a notification, so they might not notice that it's there. You can also attach a file here, and you'll want to make sure that you hit the post button in order to actually post a conversation. Down here would be any other conversations that are active and comments associated with them. So here's some instructions on adding a conversation on the computer, and also here's some instructions on adding a conversation on your phone, because it does look different on the phone versus on the computer. All right, we're almost done. We can also see in the progress tab different things that have been assigned, and if they're still to be due, or if they're past due, or if something got complete, those will all show up here. There's nothing really here because this is a new workspace. And this files tab, what does this show? It shows all the files that have been uploaded and attached to this specific project that we're in, human resources. So these are the screenshots that I added for the mobile tutorial for the conversations page. So that's what these are showing up. Great. So again, super important on the computer to navigate to your different projects. We use the menu on the left. And to actually get into a workspace like Hurricane Florence, we use the profile icon, which on the computer is on the right. And then we click on the specific workspace that we want to go into. All right, that'll be it for this brief tutorial of using Asana. Let us know if you have questions specifically. We're always here to help, and we want to help make this tool as useful as possible for everyone. And the best way to do that is to get as many people as possible using this tool in all of the ways that it can be used to really help with efficiency and to help with transparency and to help make sure that everyone's on the same page. So thanks for being a part of the team, and we look forward to talking with you on Asana.